The Father never lets us get comfortable in our short-sighted ways, and because he loves us, he never leaves us the same. And so losing is actually winning. But until you're willing to let go of everything and everything goes to the altar, you're not going to find your true identity in the peace and the real overcoming God's called you to have. Psalm 73:25, the psalm starts out with Asaph, David's chief musician and worship leader, saying, surely God is good to Israel. And then he goes down a road of complaining and talking about how he lived in comparison, how everybody else is succeeding and being profitable, claims to know God, but they don't. They put their name to the Lord, but they're living a life completely opposite of what he designed for them, and yet they're prospering. So then he says, I'm wasting my time. David's chief worship leader goes down a path of identity crisis. And then he says, I would have betrayed a whole generation. Asaph almost fully deconstructed in that psalm. And he said, I would have betrayed a whole generation. And he said, I didn't understand until I stepped into the sanctuary of God. This is how I read it. Until I had a supernatural revelation and divine encounter with perfect love. When I wanted to question everyone and everything and I thought God was against me. When I thought everybody else was a fool and wrong and I was right. When I lived in a world of comparison and complaints and I wonder, why am I suffering and they are living like the devil and prospering, and here I am suffering all day long. Anybody ever feel like that? So he's like, I'm going to throw it away. He said, I almost did, but then I had an encounter. I stepped into the heavenly gates. God took me into the heavens. God did a supernatural work in my life. God revealed to me that their feet are on slippery slopes. You can't live outside of God's design. He comes to this conclusion. Until you come to this conclusion, you're going to live disoriented. Who do we have but him on earth and in heaven?